Hi, I'm Major Berman with the Mortgage News Network. Today we're featuring National Mortgage Professional Magazine's visionary organizations. These are organizations that have a unique set of corporate culture, great products, and great technology to be able to empower their customers out in the marketplace. Today we're meeting with Caliber Home Loans and Phil Shoemaker, who's the Executive Vice President of Wholesale Lending. Phil, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Andrew. I appreciate it.
So listen, I want to talk about this because it's interesting because it seems that Caliber Home Loans' roots were firmly planted as the mortgage meltdown was in full swing. What was the vision that management saw at that time when so many were trying to exit the business?
Well, I remember that was a very scary time, but we felt there was a lot of opportunity. I mean, you saw it was clear that the money center banks would continue to distance themselves from mortgage, which would create a huge opportunity for the independents, and specifically the independents that had an economically viable business model, as well as could effectively navigate and mitigate their risk for all the regulatory reform. And so if you look at our strategy, it's pretty simple. We focus heavily on purchase business. That's what we feel is economically viable in any market. And we do that by deploying a distributed sales and ops team so we can provide best-in-class service. And then in terms of the regulatory side, we own all of our technology in-house. And so we aren't beholden to another vendor, and we believe that makes us more effective at being able to adapt to all the regulatory change that we've seen in the last, 8 years or so.
Great. So can you tell us a little bit how Caliber Wholesale's sales-centric corporate culture has enabled to fulfill its vision in wholesale?
Okay. So I would actually restate that because I think we're consumer-centric. I think that's really the key behind the secret, if you will, behind our culture. And what I mean by that is, culture is a delicate thing. And what I've learned is it's very, very hard to build the right culture, a consumer-centric culture. And it takes effectively balancing your ability to mitigate compliance risk, credit risk, with the desire to make loans. So if you were to mitigate all of your risk, you don't make any loans.
Of course.
Likewise, if you make a bunch of risky loans, you go out of business pretty quick. And so the question is, what is the right construct for decision making that will support and enable that culture? And we think it's pretty simple. If you make decisions throughout your company based on what's best for the consumer, you're aligned with that culture. You're doing the right thing by the consumer, which is going to strike that balance, which means you're doing the right thing by your sales force and the rest of your employees, and it's a fulfilling place to work. And so that's the secret, Andrew.
Great. So listen, Phil, tell us, because we've heard a word on the street that you have some great technology tools to help the brokers offer the non-traditional loan programs that you have out there on the street. Tell us about some of those technology tools that your brokers have access to.
Sure. So let me start on the non-agency side. We believe, and I believe firmly that is the future for mortgage banking, specifically wholesale, because the wholesaler, the broker, is traditionally better at providing more options to the consumer, at providing a more competitive price to the consumer. And so over the last 2 years, we've been, as a company, heavily focused on building a platform that will allow us to develop and deploy non-agency product. And so as a result of that, we actually, in the fourth quarter of 2015, the originations that Caliber produced fueled the first private label security of non-agency product. And by that, I mean the non-Fannie, Freddie, Ginnie, or Prime Jumbo product, the first securitization of that type of product since 2007. And since then, we've done 2 more. And so it starts with just your capability to be able to bring that type of product to the market and really, in a way, make the market. And Caliber is unique in that we're basically making that market. Now, a big enabler of that is the technology. And
Sure.
so if you don't have the ability to control and deploy and enhance your technology to support that, it becomes your number one limitation. And so the fact that we own our technology and have the ability to prioritize, how we deploy our technology resources has really been the key for us bringing that product to market. And to kind of name a few things, I mean, our customers can go into our platform and they can price loans, these types of loans, which aren't traditionally priced like a Fannie, Freddie, or Ginnie loan or a prime jumbo. They can do product searches and do qualification, pre-qualification type functionality. Now, the future, the focus of our technology platform right now is to continue to build out those tools and make them more streamlined, such that as the product line evolves, we can make it very easy for our customers to first know when a borrower doesn't work in a traditional mortgage. So that would be the primary goal. You want to put them in the best product possible. So we want to be able to identify that for them. But when we find that it's just not going to work, to be able to guide them to the right product effectively, efficiently, so that the experience is the best possible experience for them and the consumer.
Great, great. So, Phil, can you tell us, how do the account executives support the vision to keep Caliber as a top 3 wholesaler and a leader in the marketplace in the eyes of the mortgage broker?
That's a loaded question, just a little bit. Top 3, come on, man. So I'll say, this kind of comes back to the culture question, in that our focus has not been and will continue to not be being number 1 or number 2 or number 3. I think that's a byproduct of focusing on the right things. We've all seen lenders come and go that have been number 1 and forget how they got there, where they came from, and they're not number 1 anymore. And so our focus is simple. Again, if you keep it on the consumer, and this might sound a little cliche, but if your focus is making sure that when the moving van shows up, the consumer has their keys and they can move into their home, you're doing the right thing by them, which is ultimately going to protect your customers' referral relationships, meaning they're going to send you the next loan, which means our sales force is happy, and the rest of the employees are happy because they're fulfilled and they have something that makes them excited to come to work and do. And so that's the focus. That's, again, where we stay grounded.
Great. Sounds like it's a great opportunity by keeping consumer-centric and giving the brokers the tools and the programs to be able to help those consumers. It sounds like you guys are doing wonderful things out there.
Appreciate that. Yeah, not that we don't want to be number 1, though.
Yeah, very cool. Well, we look forward to your continued rise and continued success, and congratulations on being named a visionary organization. And I'm Andrew Berman with the Mortgage News Network. Thank you for watching.
This is Mortgage News Network.